In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Sunday night. It's Bible study night. And tonight, we're in the great book of Enoch, the second book, Parables. We finished Watchers, we're in Parables, and we're going to keep right on going. It is a fantastic book. Now, as I have told you many times before, this is not my area of expertise. I am learning as you are as we go. We're studying this book for the first time together. And I am pondering as we go and gleaning ideas and connecting things, connecting the dots to the Bible and seeing where everything lines up and seeing what doesn't fit and what does. And it's a good study all the way around. But it's worth knowing because it was written at the same time and for a while was included in our Bible. And for a while on this earth, this information was pertinent. I believe it is no longer. I believe God had the Bible edited for the new era of people because that threat was gone, so they didn't need to know about it anymore. So he took that portion of the Bible out, the old days. That's my belief. Stick to it if you want. Have your own, however you feel. But that's the way it goes. But it's still worth knowing because that is the thing that we purport to believe. And if we believe it, we should probably understand it, my guess. All right. Who's with me first in chat? Amy, you get the gold star for being first in chat. Hi, Amy. She says, Peter 5, 6, and 7. Humble yourselves, then, under God's mighty hand, so that he will lift you up in his own good time. Leave all your worries with him, because he cares for you. Yes. You must decrease so that he must increase. That is the way it goes. Humble yourself before God, and he will exalt you. If you try to exalt yourself before God, he will humble you. You want the other way to go. So, humble yourself. Good way of thinking, Amy. And you get a gold star. Amanda says, here's your gold star, Amy. Enjoy. Hello, Amanda. Amanda says, hi, Amy. Hamburger upper hand. And Amy says, hi, Amanda and Jake. Hello, Untethered Live family. Hey, lurkers. Please like and share. And subscribe if you're not already. Yes, please do. And have a cup of coffee with me. Don't you want to have a cup with me? If you do, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup, and let's get talking. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. But we also have stainless steel tumblers down there, the big ones and the little ones. They both have locking lids. Keep your coffee hot for hours. They got the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front. All the platforms on the back, and they look great on your coffee table. So get one while supplies last. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box. If you'd like to show a little love, if you'd like to, you can do that at CashApp $JakeJohnsonBand or PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand, and I greatly appreciate it if you do. If you don't, that's okay. One last thing, if you'd like to hang out with us outside of the YouTubeverse and get to know us on a personal level, you can do that at Facebook.com/UntetheredLiveChillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to share pictures, videos, text, chats, and get to know each other. And it stays updated on a regular basis with interesting little asides that relate adjacent to the things that we talk about on this channel. It's informative, it's educational, it's free, it's fun, and it's yours. So why not take full advantage of it? Go check that out. And now, on with the show. Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Fantastic. Well rested, hot. Hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. Right now I'm hot. I was freezing 20 minutes ago. Now I'm burning up. But other than that, I'm fantastic. How are you? Amanda says, here's the link to the chilling page if anybody wants to check that out. Amy says, I'm still not feeling well. I managed to go and do the laundry today, or go to the laundromat today. Some weirdo got into my dryer and was sniffing my underpants. Oh, yeah? What was his name? Were you enjoying that? Or was that like, was he a good-looking weirdo or a bad-looking weirdo? Amanda says, oh, wow, Amy, crazy. And sorry, you're still not feeling well, but we got you a package coming. Hopefully it'll help some. It's not much, but it's what I had, so I'll send it to you. Linda Davis is here. She says, hi, everyone. Sorry I missed you all last night. Yeah, me too. I was missing you. How are you? Amy says, thanks, I appreciate that. Absolutely. And Amy says, hi, Linda, honey. Amanda says, Linda, hamburger helper hand. Amy says, now I want cookies. I know, me too, and I don't have any. Sorry, my chat jumped. Linda says, my boys left with a container of cookies last night. Interesting. They know where to go get cookies, huh? Amy says, like, shared, and invited some friends. Nice. Amy says, nice, Linda. You're such an amazing, loving woman. Oh, I got 3 cookies.
And a whole bunch more that I can make.
I didn't realize I had 3 cookies. There's been a scavenger hunt for cookies going on in the house for the past few days. I'd be given a box of cookies or a bag of cookies, and then I go get a cookie and it's empty. That's okay. That's what they're there for, to eat. I just got to get to them faster. That's all. Amy says, nice, Linda. You're such an amazing and loving woman. She is. But I have a sneaking suspicion that she cooked those cookies to be taken off by the boys. That's why the cookies are usually made around here to be eaten. Amanda says, I went after Christmas shopping. After Christmas shopping. There's no way. I went after Christmas shopping. There's no way to say that correctly. I know what you mean, but that's wrong. That's wrong. I went shopping after Christmas for an after Christmas sale. There. I think I fixed it. It still sounds wrong. And stocked up on cookie stuff. Jake has a few days of cookies. I have 3 cookies. I do not have a few days of cookies. When they're done and in my bowl, then I'll have a few days of cookies. Right now, cookieless. That's okay, though. I'm just giving her a hard time. Amy says, Amanda, after Christmas clearance. See, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't matter who says it, it sounds wrong. After Christmas. After Christmas clearance is the best time to stock up for next Christmas. I agree with that. My bestie does it every year. The After Dash Christmas sale. Yes. I guess if you put the in front of the word after, it works. The After Christmas sale. But if you just say after, like it would be like you would if you were saying after something, the brain automatically thinks after. Not after Christmas, but after Christmas after. I don't know. I'm weird. Anyway, Amanda says, yes, I'm thinking about getting us a new tree. Something a little bigger. I love after clearance. Oh, you can have whatever kind of tree you want. You want me to? I'll go chop you one down. Amy says, the extreme thunderstorm has reached my house. It's absolutely terrifying outside. Extreme rain and winds tornado watches. Then it's supposed to get flash freeze in the morning. So like Florida Tuesday. Do you guys have like is it tornado season? Are you guys having that issue out in Midwest? Because it can get hairy in that spot during that period of time, but I'm not exactly sure when that period of time is. I kind of thought it was in the spring, but I guess cold air hitting warm air would cause that, right? Amy says, almost 70 degrees here today. I have 27 tomorrow. Please be careful in that weather. It can carry you away. Amanda says, wow, that's crazy, Amy. Please stay home and safe if you can. I'd say stay chained to a stump if you can. Something that's way down deep in the earth. Amber says, wave your hand, wave your hand, wave your hand, wave your hand, hamburger help her hands. Amanda says, Amber, hamburger help her hand back. And Amy says, hi, Glitter Bear. Glitter Bear, I like it. Amanda says, do you want the fan? Please, if you don't mind. I know, 5 minutes ago I was freezing. I can't control it. It's just up and down. 5 minutes ago I was shivering, and right now I'm sweating. That tell you anything about me? I'm going through that menopause, I think. Oh, thank you.
You need to get your menopause in check.
I need to get my menopause in check, I know. Amy says, I watched the Hyperbole about the dinosaurs today. The little ticker at the bottom was hilarious. Well, thank you, Amy. Did you enjoy the show? I worked hard on that one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made some sense. Amber says, Amy, heart. Amanda says, LOL, yes, Amy. Mr. P says, good evening, all. Hey, Mr. P, nice to see you, brother. We're in the book of Enoch tonight. If you don't have a book of Enoch, that's okay. I will provide it for you. So just read it off the screen. It's all right. That's not a book that everybody just has laying around. Some people do, but some people don't. Amy says, hi, Mr. P. Amanda says, Mr. P, hamburger help her hand. Linda says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it, Linda. Amy says, he can't read it if you retract it, Linda. Amanda says, he can't read it if you... No, she says, well, you might have some cookies when you get home from work tomorrow. I hope so. They are good cookies. Chocolate chip cookies, snickerdoodles, both delicious. Mr. P says, first real Bible study I've been at for a while. I went to a few in person. It was odd. The big mouth ran the show. That seems to be the case. And one of the reasons I do what I do, because it's very hard to get a good Bible study in. Very hard. I'm glad you're here. And Linda says, you're right, Jake. I made a container for each and every one of them. See? Mamas know. Boys got to have a cookie. And you love it when they eat every one of them, don't you? Linda says, my finger slipped and I posted it before I was done typing it. I hate it when that happens. Amanda says, I think Amy is in Tornado Alley. It might be. I know it goes through that area. Amy says, I'm in Tornado Alley, yes. And it's not tornado season, though. Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe it won't be so bad. I know during that period of time, they can spawn anywhere at any time for any reason. It's very unpredictable. Very scary. Says the guy that lives on the place where the hurricanes hit. Tornadoes are terrifying. Just please be careful. Pay attention to the wind. If it stops blowing, get down low somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure you already know all this. You grew up there, so I'm not telling you anything, but Mr. P says, my neighbor got really sick, and I didn't even know till he came home. He had this lady half his age staying with him. Thinks that she tried to kill him. Believe it or not, John, that happens. That is entirely possible, that young women do shack up with older men and then try to poison them. That is a thing that happens. I hope not, but I would say if he has a reason to believe that, it's more than likely possible that it happened. And John says, uh-oh, sorry, I'm eating cookies in your ear. They're irresistible. Amanda says, I turned Jake into a snickerdoodle cookie. I turned him on to snickerdoodle cookies. Yes, I never had one before. Or if I had one, I didn't know it. Maybe I just thought it was a cinnamon cookie. Amanda says, oh no, Mr. P, that's messed up. Mr. P says, they're looking for her now. Oh, she's vanished? Oh, yeah, she definitely tried to kill him. Most definitely. If she's vanished, yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Something happened. All right, I'll stop. Amy says, wow, Mr. P. Amanda says, I hope they get her before she finishes her goal. Amy says, tell him to beware of anything almond flavored, Mr. P. Or antifreeze flavored. Be aware of anything neon green and antifreeze flavored. Debbie says, howdy, y'all. Debbie, how are you? Amy says, hi, Debbie. Amanda says, Debbie, wave your hand. Hamburger helper hand, excuse me. Mr. P says, we have all the lights on around the houses, and he was tested and came up with stuff that does not belong in a human body. Oh, yeah, she tried to kill him. Amy says, I love snickerdoodles. Me too. They're delicious and chewy in the right way. I was munching on some pieces of chocolate chip cookie there. But I got to stop that or I'll be sitting here eating all night. Munching on cookies. Delicious. It's good to be the king. Believe that. All right. We'll go for about 5 more minutes, chit-chatting, and then we'll get started. We're getting very close to January. So when we get to January, and I'm sure we're not going to be through the 5 books of Enoch, I will pose the question, do you want to keep going until we finish it? Or do you want to start immediately in Genesis? That's up to you. We'll see when we get there. How far in we are. Amy says, I love snickerdoodles. And how are you feeling, Amber? Hey, Amber. Is Amber here? Did she sneak in and I didn't see her? Or was that? She came in earlier. Yeah, I saw her earlier. That's what it was. Brain dead. Debbie says, Amy, don't give away the arsenic and old lace secrets. Arsenic and old lace. Don't give it away. I kind of probably already know all that stuff. Amanda says, he eats the cookies faster than I can make them, LOL. It makes me happy to see his enjoyment, or him enjoying the cookies. Yeah, I do enjoy them. They're delicious. Mr. P says, I don't have Enoch, Jake. I'll use yours. Excellent. Well, I'll have mine up on the screen so you'll see it. Amy says, lacing anything is evil. My husband died from something laced. Mm. John says you can get it on Etsy for $2. What's that? The Book of Enoch? Interesting. Is it the whole Book of Enoch, the real book? Or is it just like a author? Is there an author on the cover, or is it the Book of Enoch? That's interesting. I've never tried to buy it. But you can download it for free if you know where to go. You can get it from the Gutenberg Project website. Download it for free. But you got to have a reader. So if you get yourself a digital reader, like Adobe Editions or something like that, or a PDF reader, one that reads EPUBs, ebooks, and then go to the Gutenbergproject.org, Gutenbergproject.org, I believe it is. And you can download any number of ancient texts there. You can get the King James Original Bible, the 1611 Bible. You can get all of the different translations of the Bible, which I don't recommend you read any of that, but they're all there. You can get the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jasher, the Book of Adam and Eve, the Book of Thomas, which is a fake. On and on and on. They're all there, so you can go check it out. I would caution you, though, that if you don't know about these books, don't download them and read them, because you don't know what you're reading. For example, the Book of Thomas is a forgery. It's a clear forgery, but they only know that because of the scholars that looked into it. So it's not the Book of Thomas. It's a book that was introduced to try and sway the Catholic beliefs during a period of time when Gnostics and Catholics were vying for power. And there's a lot of that out there. So be very careful when you're reading ancient texts. It's very good to have somebody to guide you that knows what they're talking about. And I know you're not supposed to need a guru for the Bible. That's not what I'm saying. We're not talking about the Bible. We're talking about ancient texts, including the Bible, but more specifically, books that you're not used to reading, books you're not exposed to on a daily basis. And those books can very quickly get away from you if you don't know what you're looking at. Amy says, I know it was a joke. Sorry. It just hit me the wrong way. I got you. Understood. And Mr. P says, it says it's the complete Book of Enoch. Well, that's awesome. Now, if you want to pay for it, you can get it at Etsy. But if you want to get it for free, go get you a ebook reader and go download it for free off the Gutenberg Project. You're still going to need a reader. It might come with one if you pay for it. I don't know how that works. But you still have to have something that'll open it. Amanda says, you can get it on the App Store. Okay. Mr. P says, I like free, LOL. I have Adobe. Well, there you go. Go to the Gutenbergproject.org and download it for free, and you'll have it. Aaron, what's up, buddy? He says, hi, all you fantastically glowing souls. Well, hello, you fabulous glowy soul yourself. Nice to see you. Amanda says, Aaron, hamburger upper hand. Mr. P says, hello, Aaron. Judy's here. She says, hey, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. That's all right. We were waiting for you. Amanda says, Judy, hamburger upper hand. John says, hello, Judy. Mr. P does. Amy says, hi, Aaron. Kissy face and hugs and prayers. Aaron says, oh, crap. I only got 16%. Oh, no. Plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Amy says, hey, Judy, stay safe up there. And Judy says, hey, Amy, Amanda, and Jake, hi. And hey, Linda, says Judy. Amy says, find a charger, Aaron, quick. Amanda says, well, Aaron, plug it in, plug it in. Aaron says, I am. Amy says the Gutenberg Project. Yes, a good place to be. Good place to get as a good source for old books. Not to be confused with Steve Gutenberg. No, wrong guy. This is as in the Gutenberg Press, as in the original printing of the Bible. The website that takes that moniker. Whether they're connected or not, I don't know, but seems to be they're trying to make that impression that they're the original source for these books. Judy says, hey, Mr. P. Aaron says, Leo needs to read his Bible today. He is bad. Well, hand him a Bible, but be careful. He might chew on it. And Judy says, hey, Aaron. Amy says, I hope Soph's mom's surgery went well today. Me too. And Judy says, we're at 5 in and still falling. Oh, no. 5 inches and still falling. Snow's falling. That's not too bad. When you get to 5 feet, you got a problem. Aaron says, hey, Judy, you beautiful soul. You're so sweet, Aaron. John says, wow, that's awesome. I got the whole book of Enoch. Where are we starting at again? And thanks, all. I got it from the App Store, Amanda. There you go. We're going to start in chapter 49, verse 1 of the book of Parables, which is the second book of Enoch. What it is. We're starting early tonight, huh? Nope. Nope, it's 8:28. 8 o'clock on Sundays, 8:30 every other night. Amanda says, you're welcome, Mr. Pete. And Judy says, hey, what it is? Amanda says, what it is? Hamburger helper hand. All right. Let's get after it, shall we? If you got your Bible handy, or your book of Enoch handy, rather, crack it open to the great book of Parables, chapter 49, verse 1. Let me mark my chat so I don't lose my place. And it reads, for wisdom is poured out like water, and glory faileth not before him evermore. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness shall disappear as a shadow, and have no continuance. Because the elect one standeth before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his might unto all generations. And in him dwells the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit which gives insight, and the spirit of understanding and of might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. We're talking about Christ here, in case you don't know. And he shall judge the secret things, and none shall be able to utter a lying word before him. Remember when it says that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess? Apparently, whatever you confess will be the truth. Apparently, you cannot lie to Christ. You're not able to. He's too good. He knows too much. For he is the elect one before the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. Now, this word Lord of spirits, in the book of Enoch, as I'm gathering it, that's the same thing that in our Bible is called YHVH, Yahweh. Capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D in our Bible. Because he uses it in that same way. The Lord of spirits, meaning the one who created the spirits. That's what that means. So I'm guessing the elect one is Christ, or the anointed one, as we would call it. Christos, the anointed one. He's using the word elect. And Lord of spirits is Almighty God, which we would use the word Yahweh. So I'm guessing that's how that goes. Chapter 50. And in those days a change shall take place for the holy and the elect. And the light of days shall abide upon them. And glory and honor shall turn to the holy. on the day of affliction, on which evil shall have been treasured up against the sinners. That's the day of judgment. And the righteous shall be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits. And he will cause the others to witness this, that they may repent and forego the works of their hands. Witness what? Their destruction into the lake of fire. That's the implication here. The evil that is treasured up against those that are evil, those that are sinners. Well, everybody knows that at that point they go into the lake of fire at judgment. After judgment is over, Satan and everything that follows him is cast into the lake of fire and disintegrated forever. And everyone will see that happen. So if there's any left, they'll be repentant, I promise. They don't want to go in there. That's the second death. Notice he said the work of their hands, not the work of his hands. Because he, God, did not put any of them in that position. They did. How is that? When you sin of your own accord. When you do bad, when you go down bad rabbit holes, when you go down bad paths and end up the worse off for it, it is your fault. God did not do that to you. God does not kill babies. God is not a tyrant. The world is broken and wicked, and bad things happen because of it. From the Garden of Eden forwards, it has been man that brought death into the world, not God. So even here it says the work of their hands gets them put into the lake of fire, not the work of God's hands. If I'm in fact reading that correctly, what do you see there? They shall have no honor through the name of the Lord of spirits, yet through his name shall they be saved. And the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for his compassion is great, the ones who repent. And he is righteous also in his judgment. And in the presence of his glory, unrighteousness also shall not maintain itself. And at his judgment, the unrepentant shall perish before him. And from henceforth, I will have no mercy on them, saith the Lord of spirits. From the day he passes them into the lake of fire, they are cut off from God. They cease to exist. No more compassion. And in those days shall the earth also give back that which has been entrusted to it. And Sheol also shall give back that which it has received. Sheol is what we would call hell today. It's actually Abraham's bosom, and every culture has a name for it. Valhalla, the underworld, Sheol, hell. It goes on and on and on and on. Every culture has a concept of the underworld. That is a physical place on planet Earth that holds the spirits when they die. Well, when Christ died, and this book is considerably before Christ, about 2,000 years, when he died, he went into that place and released all of those souls to God the Father. Therefore, after Christ, that place no longer functions. It's a dead entity. It doesn't work anymore. So what he's saying is, in those days, it'll give up what it received, which is all the spirits, because Christ will release them. Yes. So this tracks with the Bible so far. And he shall give back that which it owes. It owes the spirits. For in those days the elect one shall rise. That's the day of Christ. And he did rise. And he shall choose the righteous and holy from among them. For the day has drawn near that they should be saved. And the elect one shall and the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne. That's God talking. And his mouth shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel, for the Lord of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him. And in those days shall the mountains leap like rams, and the hills also like lambs shall skip, satisfied with milk. The hills shall also skip like lambs satisfied with milk. There's a couple of ways you can read that. You can think of that as an earthquake, or the earth transforming back to the way God originally created it. That's going to happen. I don't really know what they meant in those days about the mountains dancing. It's some kind of figure of speech that means something to them, and I'm not privy to it because I'm not from that culture. But my guess is, metaphysically speaking, we're talking about the destruction of the mountains and hills due to an earthquake of some kind, which would track with Revelations. And the faces of all the angels in heaven shall be lightened up with joy, and the earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk thereon. Also tracks with Revelations. When you go to heaven, it's here, because you don't go to heaven. Heaven comes here. When you die, your spirit is instantly with the Father who gave it. Why? Because it's right there now. This is a meat suit, and it is controlled Wi-Fi, plugged into that spirit that is in heaven right now. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. In the Bible, it describes a silver cord coming from the body to heaven. That's metaphor. Obviously, there's no cord there. I'm pretty sure I'd have felt it by now. But it is a connection. It is the connection between the body and the spirit. And when you die, that silver cord is parted when this clay pot breaks. But this is a clay pot, and what's in it is the spirit, or some connection to the spirit, however you want to look at that. So yes, that tracks. Chapter 52. And after those days, in that place where I had seen all the visions of that which is hidden, for I had been carried off in a whirlwind, or a highly polished bronze craft of some kind, and they had borne me towards the west, and there mine eyes saw all the secret things of heaven that shall be, a mountain of iron, a mountain of copper, a mountain of silver, a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the angel who went with me, saying, What things are these which I have seen in secret? And he said unto me, All these things which thou hast seen shall serve the dominion of his anointed, that he might be potent and mighty on the earth. And the angel of peace answered and said unto me, Wait a little, and there shall it be revealed unto thee all the secret things which surround the Lord of spirits. And these mountains which thine eyes have seen, the mountain of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead, all these shall be in the presence of the elect one, as wax before fire, melting. So it is a metaphor for, I think, attitudes, different types of people, different personalities that God's going to come in contact with, or Christ is going to come in contact with. The reason I think that is because they're all going to melt before him like wax in front of a flame. And like water which streams down from above upon those mountains, and they shall become powerless before his feet. And it shall come to pass in those days that none shall be saved, either by gold or by silver. And none shall be able to escape. Now he's clearly talking about people, so I was right. These are types of people. The mountain of gold and silver and copper and soft metal and lead. These are the different kinds of people in the world that are going to encounter Christ. And he's going to be victorious over them all, because he comes to win and rule. And none of us are capable of that. There will not be one to be able to escape Christ when he comes. And there shall be no iron of war, or no iron for war, nor shall one clothe oneself with a breastplate. Bronze shall be of no service, and tin shall be of no service, and shall not be esteemed, and lead shall not be desired. And all these things shall be denied and destroyed from the surface of the earth, when the elect one shall appear before the face of the Lord of spirits. Meaning, when Christ comes back, he's coming back with a rod of iron to rule this planet for 1,000 years, and he is going to win. There will be no resistance. There will be no war against him. There will be nothing to stand in his way, because if they do, he will destroy them. Remember, he's coming back as a warrior when he comes back, with a double-edged sword. He's going to kick butt and take names and chew bubble gum, and he's all out of bubble gum, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Chapter 53. There mine eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths, and all who dwelled on the earth and the sea and the islands shall bring to him gifts and presents and tokens of homage. But that deep valley shall not become full. That deep valley. Look at me having internet issues again. All right. Hang on a second, folks. Put in the chat that I'm having internet issues. I'm going to try to wait it out. Sometimes it gets better.
Shut everything down that I don't need going, so try it now.
All right. I'm going to try to wait it out. Please be patient. Sometimes it gets better. I'm assuming you guys can still hear me okay. I'm going to keep reading, and you guys just hang in there. Hang on. All right. All right. I'm going to continue. And their hands commit lawless deeds, and the sinners devour all whom they lawlessly oppress. Yet the sinners shall be destroyed before the face of the Lord of spirits, and they shall be banished from off the face of his earth, and they shall perish forever and ever. Again, talking about the lake of fire. That's when you perish forever. That means that you cease to exist. That means, poof, you're gone. Second death, death of the spirit, you're out of here. You don't exist anymore. For I saw all the angels of punishment abiding there and preparing all the instruments of Satan. Again, Satan is a task, and apparently there's more. Satan is a title, and apparently there's more than one of them. But what are these instruments of Satan? Well, from the angels of punishment, they'd be instruments of death, I would imagine. And I asked the angel of peace, who went with me, for whom are they preparing these instruments? And he said unto me, They prepare these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may thereby be destroyed. And after this, the righteous and elect one shall cause the house of his congregation to appear. That's the people that are with him. You know, the dead in Christ shall rise with Christ. That's what that means. Henceforth, they shall be no more hindered in the name of the Lord of spirits. And these mountains shall not stand as the earth before his righteousness. But the hills shall be as a fountain of water, and the righteous shall have rest from the oppression of sinners. Anything oppressive or high will be brought down low. Even the very dirt will be obedient to God. And I looked, chapter 54, and I looked, and turned to another part of the earth, and I saw there a deep valley with burning fire. That's the lake of fire, probably. And they brought the kings and the mighty and began to cast them into this deep valley. And there mine eyes saw how they made these their instruments, iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, For whom are these chains being prepared? And he said unto me, These are being prepared for the hosts of Azazel. Remember, he's one of the bad angels. So that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. Complete condemnation. The only way to see that is complete condemnation. There is no way back from that. And they shall cover their jaws with rough stones, as the Lord of spirits commanded, meaning they can't come back to life. If you ever do any study of ancient burial sites in Romania and little portions of the world like that, you'll find a lot of bodies with rocks in their mouths. And they always wondered what that meant. They tie it to the vampire lore, because apparently when you have a rock in your mouth, you can't come back to life because the spirit can't enter in. That's the legend. Turns out there might be some truth to that. Don't know. But there he is saying they're going to put rocks in their mouths and bury them forever in the abyss. The abyss of complete condemnation. And Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel, not ninjas, but angels, shall take hold of them on that great day and cast them on that day into the burning furnace, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. So, how do you get cast into the lake of fire, folks? You become a subject of Satan, and you lead astray people that are trying to find their way to God. You lead them away from God in the name of satanic possibilities. That will get you thrown into the lake of fire. You can tie that directly to commandment number 1, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Satan is playing God in many cases, and if you follow him, you are capitulating to idolatry. So that will get you destroyed. Don't do that. Don't allow people to lead you away from God. And if anybody tries to, you can see the writing on the wall. This is the punishment for that. So be aware ahead of time. If you're stepping away from God, you're walking towards the lake of fire. And in those days shall punishment come from the Lord of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of water which are above the heavens, and of the fountains which are beneath the earth. Oh, we're going to have another one of those, are we? And all the waters shall be joined with the waters. That which is above the heavens is the masculine, and the water which is beneath the earth is the feminine. And they shall destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of heaven. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which they have wrought on the earth, then by these shall they perish. Okay. I'm guessing that's talking about the flood, because the God said he'd never do that again, so that has to be the moment he's referring to. It did rain for 40 days, and the water did come up from the deep. So those two waters did technically touch. That's kind of a jump backwards in time from what he was talking about previously. The lake of fire is at the end of time, and the flood is nearly at the beginning of it. But that's what it says. Maybe this book is not intended to be taken linearly. And also remember, this book was written pre-flood. So Enoch being seventh from Adam, it hadn't happened yet. So I guess the flood would be in the future to him. So all the future looks the same to somebody seeing the future. And after that, the head of days repented and said, in vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth. And he sware by his great name, henceforth I will not do so to all who dwell on the earth, and I will set a sign in the heavens, the rainbow. And this shall be a pledge of good faith between me and them forever, so long as the heaven is above the earth. And this is in accordance with my commandment, or my command, when I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the angels on the day of tribulation and pain because of this. I will cause my chastisement and my wrath to abide upon them, saith God, the Lord of spirits. Yea, mighty kings who dwell on the earth, ye shall have to behold mine elect one, Christ, how he sits on the throne of glory, and judges Azazel and all of his associates and all his hosts in the name of the Lord of spirits. We are definitely talking about the flood at that point. And God repented in his heart because he had destroyed the mankind that he so desperately tried to create, because of their tainting, because of their corruption, because of their mixing with these fallen angels. It was never meant to happen that way. So you can see that he promised he would never do that again. So the next time the world has to be destroyed, and there will be a next time, it won't be with water. But you also get to see all the way to the end from the flood. Remember, God said, I'm the Lord your God. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I tell the ending from the beginning, and the beginning from the ending, right? That's kind of what's happening here. He's telling the whole story in one vision. And not necessarily in order, but all future to him. If that makes any sense. And what he's saying is, God didn't like destroying the world. He didn't feel good about it. He didn't like it. So he promised those who survived, that'll never happen again. I got you from now on. Let's just try to stay away from the angels, shall we? And then you see Jesus sitting on the throne, judging the angels who ultimately caused all of this by leaving their habitation and coming down mating with women, Azazel being one of them. And a popular name. A lot of TV shows and movies like to use that name to name their bad guys, their bad angels. And then they immediately try to make them relatable. Go watch the movie or the TV show Lucifer, where they totally try to make Lucifer a good guy. Except for one problem. He ain't. That's called romanticizing the bad guy. And we are clearly showing signs of Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to Satan in our modern times. And I saw there the hosts of the angels of punishment going, and they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, to whom are these who hold these scourges going? And he said unto me, to their elect and beloved ones, that they might be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. And then that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved, and the days of their lives shall be at an end, and the days of their leading astray shall not thenceforth be reckoned. And in those days the angels shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthian and the Medes. That is in Greek terms. If you're from Italy, you know what the Medes are. The Parthians is where the Parthenon is. It's that part of the world. That's in Greece, or Helena. So that might give you some idea where the lake of fire is going to turn up. And they shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they shall go up and tread under foot the land of his elect ones, and the land of his elect ones shall be before them in a threshing floor and a highway. Armageddon. Get all the kings together to fight each other so that God can come in and beat everybody. But the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses, and they shall begin to fight among themselves, and their right hand or their power shall be strong against themselves. And a man shall not know his brother, nor his son his father or his mother, till there be no number of corpses through their slaughter, and their punishment be not in vain. They'll kill each other. And in those days, hell or Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be an end. Sheol shall deliver the sinners in the presence of the elect. Christ. When he died, he went there, and that's exactly what happened. He judged them then and there. Why? Because they didn't get the same opportunity that we're going to get. We have the benefit of Christ having died for our sins. They did not. They died before all of that happened. That's why he went there and released them. And I'm sure the judgment happened. Chapter 57. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds of the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from the one end of heaven to the other on this day. And they shall all fall down and worship the Lord of spirits. And this is the end of the second parable. Interesting, that. That parable reminds me a lot of every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. That's basically what he's saying. Chapter 58. And I began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and elect. Blessed are ye, ye righteous and elect, for glorious shall be your lot. And the righteous shall be in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of eternal life. The days of their life shall be unending, and the days of the holy without number. And they shall seek the light and find righteousness with the Lord of spirits. There shall be peace to the righteous in the name of the eternal Lord. And after this it shall be said to the holy in heaven that they should seek out the secrets of righteousness, the heritage of faith. For it has become bright, as the sun upon earth, and the darkness is past. Well, when you live forever, what else do you have to do but to uncover all the secrets of the world? You're going to live forever. Forever is a long time. You're going to have something to do. There's a lot of secrets out there to uncover. And there shall be a light that never endeth, and to a lit number, to a certain number of days, they shall not come, for the darkness shall first have been destroyed, and the light established before the Lord of spirits, and the light of uprightness established forever before the Lord of spirits. So that light is the light of Christ. The sun's eventually going to go out, and the moon too. But there will be light here. There was light here before the sun was created, and that was the Holy Spirit, or Christ himself, one of the two. God said, let there be light, and there was light, right? That was on day 1. It was day 4 when the sun was created. So the light is something other than the sunlight. That light will be here in the end as well, because the sun will go away, but that light will still be here, and it'll be here forever, because no one's going to die anymore at that point. In those days, mine eyes saw the secret of the lightnings, and of the lights, and the judgment they execute. Their judgment, or literature about their judgment. And they lighten for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of spirits willeth. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how when it resounds above the heavens, above in the heaven, singular heaven, the sound thereof is heard, and he caused me to see the judgment executed on earth, whether they be for well-being and blessing, or for a curse according to the word of the Lord of spirits. That word is Christ. And after that, all the secrets of the lights and lightnings were shown to me, and they lightened for a blessing and for a satisfying. Chapter 6 is just a fragment of the book of Noah. Noah had a book, and there's a fragment left of it. We don't have the whole thing, but here it is. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake, and the host of the Most High, and the angels, 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, God, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. And the great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, peed on himself, and dissolved were my reins. I lost control. And I fell upon my face, I would imagine. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion, and the quaking of the heaven, singular. And Michael said unto me, why art thou so disquieted with such a vision? Unto this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of Spirit hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared for the elect a covenant, but for the sinners an inquisition. He has made a promise to the elect, and he has made a threat to the sinners. Why are you so worried? Why does that bother you? You know this is coming. I've been telling you this since we've been together. What is he saying? Well, the elect of God, the righteous people of God, are going to go to heaven and get a promise fulfilled to them. But the sinners are going to go to the lake of fire, and they're going to receive all kinds of punishment before they get there. It's just the way it is. And it is kind of scary, but they asked for it. When the punishment of the Lord of spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Lord of spirits may not come in vain. And it shall slay the children with their mothers and the children with their fathers. Afterwards the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. It's going to happen, but he'll do it right. And on that day were two monsters parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of waters. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his beast, or with his breast, a waste wilderness named Duodin, on the east of the garden where the elect and the righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam, Enoch, first man whom the Lord of spirits created, Adam. And I besought the other angel that he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day and cast, the one into the abysses of the sea, and the other under dry land of the wilderness. Why did that happen? What are these animals, and why were they put where they were put? These animals, incidentally, are also mentioned in the book of Job, also the oldest book we have. So back then, these animals lived with man. I talked about that in that hyperbole that Amy watched today. That is what this is. That's what we're talking about. In case you're wondering, we're talking about dinosaurs. The Leviathan was a water dinosaur. Behemoth was a land dinosaur, something like the Diplodocus. Interestingly enough, the description of Behemoth fits the Diplodocus to a T, even down to the way they named him. And he said to me, thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. And the other angel who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in heaven, in the height, and beneath the earth, in the depth, and at the ends of the heaven, and on the foundations of the heaven, and the chambers of the winds. He's telling me everything, basically, is what he's saying. And how the winds are divided. And how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the light of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the place where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it, while it is waiting for its peal, or its opportunity. And the thunder and the lightning are inseparable, and although not one is undivided, they both go together, thunder then lightning, yes. Through the Spirit and separate not. For when the lightning lightens, and the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal or opportunity, and divises equally between them, for the treasury of their peals or opportunities is like sand, and each one of them, as its peals is held in with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws back with a rain, and in like manner it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own angel, and the spirit of the hail is a good angel, and the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. Want to know where the legend of Jack Frost came from? Or the abominable snowman? And the spirit of the midst is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious, both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and in its chamber is an angel. In other words, angels cause all of these things to occur the way they do. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heaven, and is connected with the chamber of the rain, and its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the ones give to the other. We're talking about the water table and the workings of our planet's water, right? There's a system in play. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. But the water moves. It goes up into the air. It goes in the form of a cloud. It comes down in the form of rain and mist, hail and snow. And then it waters the ground in dew. It has a system, right? That's what he's talking about, the water system. Weather systems and such. The clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the angels come and open the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it's united with the waters on the earth. And whensoever it unites with the water on the earth, for the waters are for those who dwell on the earth. That's interesting. Can you think of a reason water exists? Where there is water, there is life. Does it do anything else? It provides life. That's it. That's what water does. It doesn't do anything for the planet except feed it. For they are nourishment for the earth form. They are nourishment from the earth, for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. God gives us that so that we can be nourished. Therefore, there is a measure for the rain, and the angels take it in charge. And these things I saw towards the garden of the righteous. Now, what he's saying is that there are angels appointed to all of these different systems, right? The rain, the lightning, the thunder, the snow, the mist, the dew, the fog, the clouds, the seas. There are angels appointed over all these provinces, and they have jobs to do. They cause these things to happen in their due time and in their due course, because that's the gift from God to us so that we can be nourished. That's the seasons, the weather. It's all there to nourish us. If the weather never changed, if it never rained, if it never had any of the climate systems that we have now, this would be a barren planet with no life on it. Those things cause life. There you go. But global warming, yes. What would happen if we didn't have it? You thought about that? And the angel of peace who was with me said to me, these two monsters, Leviathan and Behemoth, prepared comfortably to the greatness of God, shall feed. Oh, scary. So, there are two monsters that he referred to, but there are many, many, many other monsters on planet Earth. Those are just two he was talking about, Leviathan and Behemoth, which incidentally, in the case of Behemoth, is the name in Hebrew. They did not translate it. That is not a translated word. That's not our word. We don't have a word for that. That's what they were called when they were named, Behemoth. So they didn't bother to translate that word. That is the Hebrew word, Behemoth. We've co-opted that word in modern times to use it to mean things that are very big, but that is not necessarily what it meant when they invented it. And I don't know exactly what it meant when they invented it, but I'm assuming it fits the description of the thing they were talking about. Because the thing they were talking about in Job was a sauropod dinosaur of some kind, probably the Diplodocus. Because of its double iron bones, like 2 rows of iron or 2 bars of iron. Very descriptive in the book of Job. Read it and you'll see what I mean. Or watch Hyperbole episode 6. You'll love it. Gotta be a member. Chapter 61, and I saw in those days how long cords were given to those angels, and they took to themselves wings and flew. Remember, angels can appear in any way they want to, of any kind of person or any kind of animal or any kind of being. So sometimes they have wings and can fly. That's what he just said. Took to themselves wings and flew, and they went towards the north. And I asked the angel, saying unto him, the angel of peace, why have those angels taken these cords and gone off? And he said unto me, they have gone to measure. And the angel who went with me said unto me, these shall bring the measures of righteousness, and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous. That they may stay themselves on the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. Apparently, these are measuring angels. They could have used a tape measure, but in those days they used a cord, whatever. I don't know what that means. If you know what that means, let me know. They shall measure the righteous and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, that they may stay themselves on the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. In other words, maybe they're trying to keep these righteous people focused on God. Maybe these cords are symbolic of the actions they're going to take to cause these people to stay focused on God, the miracles that will work, and that sort of thing. I don't know. That one's a little beyond me. And elect shall begin to dwell with the elect. Yeah. And those are the measures which shall be given to faith, which shall strengthen righteousness. And these measures shall reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the beasts. And those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and stay themselves on the day of the elect one. For none shall be destroyed before the Lord of spirits, and none can be destroyed. This is talking about law of thermodynamics. Energy doesn't create or destroy itself. It just changes form. Once it is in creation, you can't destroy it. It just alters itself. Hydraulic cycle. Thank you, Aaron. And all who dwell above in heaven received a common and power and one voice, and received a command and power in one voice, and one like unto fire. And that one, with their first words, they blessed, and extolled and lauded with wisdom. And they were wise in utterance and in the spirit of life. And the Lord of spirits placed the elect, one on the throne of glory, and he shall judge all the works of the holy above in heaven. and in the balance shall their deeds be weighed. Okay, we're talking about setting up the government of heaven, the elect, the 144,000 in the Bible, which will run heaven when they are set up. They go before everybody else does. Is it a rapture? No, they got a job to do. They got to go prepare for it before we get there. That's why they go first. Not the rapture. In fact, you may not even notice that happens, because I'm assuming these elect are going to be living in one time period, and they're the kind of people that nobody notice. They're virgins. They're stuck in the Word of God. They don't have a nightlife. They're not married. They've never had sex. They're probably in libraries the whole time. You may not even see them disappear. That's where we're going to stop for today, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot. We'll pick up tomorrow night, chapter 62, verse 1. All right. Questions? What do you think we got into tonight? What do you think we're talking about? What a fantastic read that was. I'm sorry that my internet is crapping out on you. I hope you can still hear me. I will continue as if you do. I will upload the recorded version of this. If you can't watch it, go back and watch it later tomorrow. It'll be there and it'll be clear, because I have a recorded version of this that is perfect. It's only because I'm uploading it right now that it's being bad, and it looks like it just kicked me out. So, can you still hear me? I think I just got kicked out. I have no visual. Aggravating. Well, I'm going to keep going like I am. All right. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online. Share this video with everybody you know. Be a pro. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Subscribe to the show. There I am. 25 seconds of delay. I'm sorry. If you're getting this, just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to make any money at all. I might as well just stop until they fix the internet. I'm just wasting my time. That's what I'm doing. I am sorry. I'm aggravated. Please forgive me. I missed all of the chat from the time I started reading. I hope that you didn't say anything important, and if you did, please retype it. If you had any questions, please retype them. If you came in while I was reading, please say hello as if we're starting over. I apologize for the inconvenience. I am doing my best to get them to solve this problem so that we can stop having it. I will be on the phone with them tomorrow on Monday when they're opened, and I will be chewing their ass out with everything I've got in me. They're either going to kick me out permanently or fix the problem, one or the other. I give you my word on it. Amy says, I guess we lost the first stream. Yeah. I will have the stream in its perfection loaded tomorrow so you can go back and watch it if you missed any of it. I'll just delete that one and upload the recorded version to YouTube so that you can see it. It's already giving me warning signs. It's not going to let me work. I'm sorry. Judy says hello. Hi, Judy. Amanda says, yes, internet booted us. And it just did it again. All right, I'm back. But lagging. Maybe that'll hold it for a minute. Judy says chat, but no stream. Yeah. John says, is this the new one? Yes. Mark Colin, what's up, buddy? Amanda says, smash that like button, please. It's not going to matter. It's not going to help me at all. We've lost all of the momentum from the video. It's not going to do any good now. That's what happens when you lose in the middle of a video. You lose all of your telemetry. Amanda says, yes, Mr. P. Amy says, man, that was an intense reading. It was. I'm sorry that it got interrupted. John says, we're back. Judy says, hey, Mark. Number 3, Amy. Debbie says, and on the plus side, less for Jake to read. Got to look on the bright side. Yeah, but I missed everything. I have no idea what you guys were saying, and I want to see that. That's what I'm here for. I guess. Amy says, I was asking the different metal mountains were a metaphor. Yes. They are, in my opinion, it is my opinion that he is referring to different groups or types of people or personalities, different types of personalities that Christ is going to be encountering when he returns, the different types of people that are going to come at him, and he's going to make short work out of all of them. That's the way I'm reading that. I think each one of those mountains is like ego or certain personality types, you know, id, super ego, that sort of thing. That's my opinion. Fab Daddy, what's up? He says hamburger helper hands for everyone. And Judy says, hey, Debbie. Mr. P says, you're okay, Jake. It's fine, brother. I'm working as hard as I can and getting nowhere. It's not fine. But I thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Amy says, exactly, Debbie. And Judy says, don't worry, Jake. We get it. And I thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience. It makes it very hard for me to deliver a good product when everything I got is functional except the internet. Amy says, I thought it was on my end until YouTube started playing a different video. I know, right? I'm sorry. Aaron says, Jake, you are still loved and your efforts never go unnoticed. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that very much. That makes me feel better. Amy says, how much more is there in the book of Enoch? New Year's Eve is Thursday, I know. There's more than we're going to be able to get to, but we can keep going. I guess that's something you guys got to think about. You want to just start back on January, the first week of January on the book of Genesis, or do you want to finish Enoch and then start book of Genesis? It's up to you. Mark says, even currently, it's 1 to 60 frames. It's brutal. I know. I'm sorry. Mark says, they're trying to shut you down. They're succeeding. I can't make a difference like this. Amy says, we were talking about Aaron's tooth mostly. Okay. Did I miss any big questions? Anybody ask anything while I was reading? And Mark says, Aaron, you have an abscess? I had one years ago. It was brutal. Yes, he has a bad abscess. Aaron says, asked about Leviathan and if God controls him, what does Leviathan do? I'm not sure. The only thing I am sure of is that it is a sea beast, like maybe the super squid might be Leviathan, or Megalodon might be Leviathan. I don't know. It's something that lived in the ocean. I know what behemoth is, reasonably. It's some kind of sauropod dinosaur. Big, long neck, big, long tail, big, heavy feet. One of those kind of dinosaurs. I'm not sure what Leviathan is. But I imagine if you go out there and look, you'll find something. Now, currently, the interesting thing is for whatever reason, the word Leviathan always made me think of the color blue. I don't know if it does you or if there's any significance to it, but I always think of the color blue when I think of the word Leviathan. Interestingly enough, the largest animal on planet Earth to date is the blue whale. So that might be Leviathan. Jonah was swallowed up by a great fish and decomposed in his mouth for 3 days and was spit up onto a ocean floor where God then revived him at Nineveh. So it is entirely possible that those are one and the same, the Leviathan. I don't know. That is a great question, though. God was controlling that fish because he delivered Jonah where he wanted him to go. So that would be one of those times that the Bible reiterates itself or confirms itself down the line. I would say if God controls Leviathan, it's probably the great blue whale. But could be anything. Amy says, finish Enoch. I think that's probably the smart move. Mark says, finish Enoch and then go to Genesis. Okay, there's 2. We get 3, and that's what we're doing. Amanda says, I don't see the point of stopping a book right in the middle of it, and it might give us more insight on the Bible. Well, there's 3. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're going to finish the book of Enoch and then start Genesis. Aaron says, Mark, no, it's broken off and it has 2 roots under the gum with a tiny part left out. Oof. So maybe not an abscess, but still quite painful. Fab Daddy says, one thing I noticed about the last little bit was the number of and S talk about a run-on sentence, and it might not ever end, and it keeps going and going. The number of ands, yeah, that's how the Bible is written. But it conveys a very specific type of understanding when you read it that way. Remember, they're not speaking in English, and ancient Hebrew has no punctuation. We added the punctuation that it has in it today. I mean, you want to talk about a run-on sentence, the entire Bible is written in one sentence. There is no breaks. There is no pauses. There are no punctuations. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult sometimes. Mark says, Aaron, that leaves it so sensitive, similar to a rotting gum abscess. It's brutal. Tooth pain is one thing I'd never wish upon anybody. Amen to that. And Mark says, I'm sorry, Aaron. I wish you was brown. It's free for us Native Americans. I'm Native American, and I don't get any free dental health care, but I'm not brown either. Aaron says, it's all good. I don't want to run up Jake's chat with it. That's all right, buddy. You talk all you want to talk. That's why we're here. And Mark says, lag-free currently, Jake and Amanda. Well, that time has passed. Amy says, the word and appears 320 times in the Bible. Right on. Mr. P says, I'm fine with Enoch. Thank you, John. Amy says 382 times to be exact. Yes, 60,382 times. John says, I'm enjoying it. Well, thank you, Mr. P. Amy says, I'm enjoying it too, Mr. P. And Mr. P says, I've never read Enoch, so that's something interesting for myself. Exactly, and nor have I. I've read bits and pieces of it here and there, but I've never read it cover to cover. And I've never read the books on the inside of it. You know, there's 5 books in the book of Enoch at least. Some say there's more, but we'll see. Mark says, that is quite surprising, Amy, and isn't a new word. But to have 60K plus mentions in the Bible is insane. Right on. Linda says, finishing Enoch. I think you're right, Linda. Amy says, not to mention, there's repeatedly in the Bible, if and then. Oh, yeah. And Mark says, since I said that, the lag has appeared. Right on. And Aaron says, looks at himself, I'm brown like a crayon. Yeah, you ought to be able to get it free then. I'd be all right with that. Anything for something free, I'll take it. Call me whatever you want to call me. Just let me get this tooth out of my head. Anyway, I do hope you get to feeling a little bit better, and I hope they can do something about it soon. Monday's right around the corner. You said the 2nd? That's only a couple days away, so hopefully we can get there. And Linda says, Aaron, you're brown like chocolate. Are you saying he's a chocolate-covered cherry? Aaron says, this is true. I'm brown like an almond with the peel off of it. I am 1/4 Irish and the rest Native American. And you see what part I got. It's weird how the DNA works. And Linda says the military should be taking care of you, Aaron. Yeah, can't you go to the VA? They should have some way of fixing that. Aaron says, psst, they aren't what people think. Well, I mean, they are that. Trump ran on the VA. He put a lot of money into it. So they are that. If you can go to the VA, go check it out, and they might help you. Either way, though, Aaron says, Jake Brown, like an almond with the peeling off of it, basically white. And John says, I get really drunk, especially in the summertime. I get really dark, especially in the summertime. I don't. I can get dark like a Mexican, but in a week I'm white again. It peels right off. In other words, I can't retain the tan that I get. I can get it, but I can't keep it. It's always kind of infuriated me. January 2nd is Friday. I go back to work one day after. Or I go back to work for one day, and then I have the weekend back to my normal schedule. I hear you. Amy says it depends on the area, but the VA is horrible in places. Oh, I know that. The waiting list is nuts, says Aaron. And Linda says that's because you and I have the Mediterranean skin, Mr. P. Aaron says my insurance is faster. I hear you. Well, hopefully we can get it took care of soon. I know that sucks for you. Well, all right. Anybody got any questions? I'm going to shut this thing down because it's about to boot me out again. Matter of fact, it might have already has. Nope, I'm back. Okay. So I'm getting like still frames. I've got it jacked down to 1,800 packets per second or bits going up. It's very slow. Get that sun wrapped like a car, says Aaron. If at work, I'd do it. I'd love to have a suntan. It just won't stay. I can burn to a crisp, and tomorrow I'll be white. It'll peel off. It's only the top layer of my skin darkens, and then it peels off. It's aggravating. And John says, yes, Linda, the olive skin thing used to drive my cousins and I crazy. over Greek girls as kids, and we noticed at some point, LOL. Judy says, bye, y'all. Amy says, I appreciate you, Jake. Thanks, and Amanda. And Amanda. Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate you, too. Aaron says, Linda and her golden skin. She is pretty, isn't she? Fab Daddy says, good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. Fab Daddy. I'm sorry it's cutting in and out so bad, guys. I would love to stay here and talk all night, but it ain't going to let me. But I will be on it tomorrow and see if we can't get this solved. They've got to do something. I don't care what it is. Amanda says, good night, all. See you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for some Bible study. Much love. And much love to everybody. God bless you all. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I hope that you learned something tonight. Like, subscribe, share, support, join in Super Chat if you can. $ Jake Johnson Band on Cash App if you can. We're going to make this work one way or another. Amy says, channel members, go watch the members-only content. Hyperbole is awesome. Yes, it is. I hope you'll enjoy it. And thank you for reading the fine print. I hope you got a kick out of that. John says, good night. I'm ready for tomorrow's read already. Me too, John. All right, everybody. I love you all. Have a great night. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.